Today's topic is really going to be transformative. It really will be. When you start talking about how to take, John C. Maxwell's 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership and utilize it to hit director, now you're taking next level information and really showing people how to put it to proper use. So today we've got a great one in store. Really excited about this. John C. Maxwell, he's kind of like, I know some of you obviously study John C. Maxwell, but he's, in my opinion, I think probably in most people's opinion, he's the number one leadership development expert in the world. I mean, let's face it, right? When you go to the bookstore and you go under leadership, I know people are like, bookstore, dude. They still make those, Tim? But when you go to the bookstore, if they still make them, but if you go to the leadership section, it's literally just his section. It's like, God, he's got so many great books, so much great content. And he's really a creator and a great communicator because he creates information that people can understand. And I first got my hands on that book, I think in '98 when it came out, and it came out with a VHS video curriculum, and I started studying that thing like never before. And I still have the VHS recordings. Actually, it's on YouTube. No one can see it. It's all hidden, uh, private, because I don't want to get John C. Maxwell to get mad at me. But I converted them to digital so I could always have them because that training that I learned from John C. Maxwell, it really was revolutionary. But today we're going to be taking these tips of what really John C. Maxwell coaches and teaches, and basically showing you how to take that information, take these laws, and put them to proper use. So I'm going to go and pull up this slide deck here today. Spent a lot of time on this one today going over this. But I think by the time we're done here today, you're going to get a clear picture of it. For a lot of you that have never studied John C. Maxwell, this is going to be a real big treat for you because I'm going to touch on all the 21 laws of leadership. So to be able to do this in a short period of time, I got to dive into it. Okay. Because it's quite a lot of information to cover, but I will get through it in a timely manner and get you guys out of here early today. But, when you talk about, John C. Maxwell, the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership, and Sandra, is the slide deck up right now? Can you give me a thumbs up if it is? Is the slide deck up? Can you see it? Okay, cool. I wasn't sure if it was up or not. I got like a little.
Yes, it is.
Okay, cool. So this is the law of the lid, right? So basically, when he starts off his book, The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, he talks about the law of the lid. And a person's basically their level of leadership that they have, it basically their leadership ability is going to determine a person's level of effectiveness at anything that you do, right? It is you've got to you want to grow. What you want to do is you want to grow. Basically, what you want to do is you want to grow your leadership. I mean, that's what happens is when you put dedication into something and you have a higher level of effectiveness, you're going to be able to impact more people. So how does this pertain to becoming a director and how can you use this? The biggest thing right now when you start to study it, right now what's happening is, Riman's a show business, not a tell business, right? Every team leader is committed to becoming a director. And right now we've got senior managers that are running for director because they know that they're going to raise the lid on their team to be able to do the same thing. It's kind of like you can't really teach somebody something that you don't know, right? I can't teach somebody how to swim if I don't really know how to swim, right? I can't teach somebody how to be a director if I don't hit director. So in order for you, because sometimes you're set financially, right? Some of you were wealthy before you ever got here. Okay. You were already wealthy, right? So you're not doing Riman. What is this yellow box? Let me get rid of this yellow box here. Let me try this again. You're already wealthy, right? So you're not really doing this for the money. So you're like, there's no urgency from a perspective of I've got to make money, I've got to make this thing happen. But the reality is you got to make it happen so you can help other people do it, right? Because there's no need to make $1 million a month in this industry, right? But guess what? If you do it, you can teach other people how to do it. And Chris and I got started, we were like, we need to get national director wrapped up fast. And the reason why we were so urgent about it was what, right? We were like, we got to get it done now. Because if we get it done now, then we can help other people do it. But if we haven't done it ourselves, how are we going to be able to teach other people how to do it? So it's the same thing for everybody right now. Everybody's running for director. Everybody's pushing for director. And the key is you've got to set your eyes on it so you can help other people do it. Because you can't help people do something that you haven't done yourself, right? So that's why everybody right now is running for basically to raise that lid on their organization, okay? So basically what you want to do is realize law number 2 is the law of influence. Okay. And I love talking about the law of influence because basically True measure of leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. So now always remember the only way to influence somebody, right? And I love what Albert Einstein said. I talked to some of you guys were last night at the Riman University that we had, and I alluded to this last night. If you were at HQ, is setting an example is not the main means of influencing others; it's the only means, right? And that's really the attitude that you've got to have is that by setting an example, that's how you influence other people. If you're taking notes right now, you want to write down, you cannot control people. Okay. This is one of the first notes I took 30 years ago. I remember writing this down in my journal. I still have the journal actually here today. And the first thing I wrote in my journal at my first training wasn't the first thing I wrote, but it was like one of the first, probably on the first page, was my mentor said, you can't control people, but you can influence them. And how you influence people is by your effort, by the example that you set. Okay. It's kind of like I gave the example last night at the Riman University at HQ. If you guys were there, I know a lot of you guys are not near HQ, so you weren't there, but I talked to everybody about how do you create a stampede, right? When you see gazelles or like zebras or like you see a bunch of stuff like grazing on the Discovery Channel or whatever, you see like these things like these animals grazing, and then one takes off and everybody else sees that one take off and they all start taking off too. Okay. And that's how you create a stampede is you just run. And that's how you influence your team to be able to run. You don't try to make people, you can't push a rope, right? You can only lead by example. And how this pertains to becoming a director and how you can use this law to become a director is right now, every leader right now has that catch me if you can attitude, right? That the more committed, everybody's saying this, like the more committed I am to hitting director, the greater my influence will be on my team to be able to do the same. So if your level of commitment to become a director, if you're just like, it'd be nice, it would be nice, it doesn't inspire people. But if you're like, look, I'm going director no matter what, I'm going to make it happen no matter what, and you have that attitude, that commitment, okay, is going to influence your team to have confidence too, that maybe they're going to go senior manager, they're going to go team leader. Your confidence is contagious. And that's how you influence people, is by having that 100% confidence that you're going to make it happen. Now, when you talk about the law of the process, this is law number 3. This is one of my favorite laws, right? Is because leadership develops daily, not in a day. Right? We become better leaders every single day. Like when I look at the people today that are on this call, I know you're serious, right? I know that you're like, okay, if I can pick up 1 or 2 good ideas on a call like this, that might be all I need to be able to create massive success. Because sometimes all you need is 1 or 2 good ideas and a series of good ideas to open up the floodgates for you. Okay. So it's a process though. Every time you get on a call, you're learning something, you're growing, you're developing, and you apply it. And guess what? Once you apply it, then it's yours, right? So understand that there's a myth that people think that you either fail or succeed at something. And that's the farthest thing from the truth. You don't fail or succeed. You fail to succeed. Okay. You fail to succeed. In order to succeed, you've got to fail. I know that sounds like such a different, maybe like a mentality that people have, but some people have a growth mindset. Some people have a fixed mindset. When you have a fixed mindset, you're like, I'm either good or bad at this. But if you have a growth mindset, you're like, okay, I'm going to get better at this. So it's a process. Developing your leadership skills is a process. And the leadership lesson that we can take from this law that we can help to become a director faster is understand the best way to become a director is to fall in love with the process. The more in love with the process that you are, the easier it's going to be to become a director, right? It is when you call somebody up or you sit down and do a one-on-one Zoom or you do a pop-up or anytime you expose Riman to somebody, whether they say yes or they say no, did you get a little bit better? See, if you do 10 presentations in the next, let's say 5 days, or you do 3 presentations in the next 5 days, which one is going to make you better? Doing the 10, right? So when you fall in love with the process of going from where you are to where you want to go, okay, your team and the production is going to grow because you're as a leader is going to grow. If I'm growing through the process, the people around me are also growing. Okay. Once again, it kind of goes back to that lid is I'm in the process of transforming and getting better. What'll happen is the people around me will do the exact same thing. So let's take a look at law number 4. This is the law of navigation. Okay. And law of navigation and the law of intuition, they're the ones that take the longest to learn out of the 21 laws because it takes navigation takes sometimes experience, right? But the law of navigation says anyone can steer the ship, but it takes a leader to chart the course. This is where experience comes in, right? 30 years of doing this industry, I learned a lot, right? Of how to do it right by doing it wrong, right? You learn and grow. And as a result of that, you can help navigate people a lot better. So the longer that you do something, the better your navigational skills will be. The secret to the law of navigation is what? Preparation. Okay. When you prepare well, you convey confidence and trust to people. Leaders who are good navigators are capable of taking a team basically anywhere, anywhere. Like, this is like I've been doing this for a long time, right? This is Riman's obviously my favorite build, right, that I've ever built, but I've built a lot of different organizations throughout my career over the last 30 years. And the same result happens. We win. And it's because of I decided, hey, look, I'm going to win no matter what. Whoever's around me is just going to win too. See, when you have that type of attitude that it doesn't make a difference, that's why sometimes people, you fall in love with somebody that you sponsor, meaning like you're like, oh my God, this person's so great. And you look up to them. That's great because you're going to help them unlock greatness by looking at them that way. But the reality is look at everybody that way. What I know for sure to be true is that when I was 17 years old, nobody would have said, this guy's going to do it. But I picked me. You got to pick you and realize whoever you introduce this business to, they're winning the lottery. That's the attitude. When we signed up on day one, I go, I don't know who's going to join Riman with me and who's not, but whoever joins Riman with me is going to get wealthy, right? Chris and I, we were like, dude, whoever starts with us is basically winning the lottery because whoever gets started with us, we're going to drive massive business through them because of the navigational skills. So you can navigate anybody with the more experience that you get. That's how you really get better at navigation. But let's talk about how to navigate and use this to become a director. It's the 5 P's, right? Proper preparation prevents poor productivity. Okay. Once you decide you're going to hit director, okay, your commitment becomes obvious. When you've really made a declaration and a decision, everybody knows it. Okay. It's like a forest fire, right? You can smell it from miles away. You can see the smoke from miles away. Your commitment to director shows that you're a goal setter, not a bull esser. Right? Once you set your goals to do something, you say, look, I'm going to make it happen no matter what. Guess what happens? People get attracted to you like a magnet on steroids, right? So let's talk about the law of navigation. Okay. Now let's talk a little bit about leadership law number 5, which is the law of addition. This is new. Okay. Meaning he revamped some of his laws. So I think there was 2 or 3 laws in the second edition. So the 21 laws that I'm giving you right now are the new edition laws that he changed in his, I think it was like the 20-year anniversary or something like that. And the law of addition says that basically leaders add value by serving others. Okay. To add value to others, one must first value others. If you value people, right, you can add value to them. One of my favorite John C. Maxwell books called Failing Forward, right? And in that book, John C. Maxwell states that his ability to motivate people comes from his ability to believe in people, right? Sometimes people will come out of a training that I'll do and they'll be like, man, I'm fired up. And well, that's good because that's the intention, right? The intention for me to do a training is to get you fired up. That's what I'm trying to do. And whenever people tell me that they're fired up, I get excited about that. But the reality is what? The reason why I can fire some people up is because I believe in everybody, right? And if I can get you to believe in yourself the way that I believe in you, we're going to unlock greatness because I know that you can do it. I know you can make it happen, right? Here's how you use this law. Leadership lesson is if you value other people, you want to develop them as leaders, okay? So by running for director, your team will be inspired by your commitment. When you're running for director and you're like, man, I'm going to go director no matter what, over, under, through, that commitment's going to add value to everybody around you. Just think about when Chris and I got started, we just said, hey, man, we're going to do our best and maybe it's senior manager. Our organization wouldn't be as big. You understand? If we're like, hey, man, maybe someday we'll hit team leader. And that was our attitude. But that wasn't our attitude. Our attitude was like, oh, nobody's gone director yet? Well, nobody's gone national director yet? We could do that. Whatever it takes. Let's go. So when you have that type of mindset, automatically the people around you are going to get added value because you're pushing and you're growing and you're setting the pace. So you want to be running for director because you're going to impact so many people's lives. Now, law number 6 is the law of solid ground. This is one of my favorite ones, right? Trust is the foundation of leadership. This is key. Integrity, this is what Jim Rohn says. Integrity is a clear correspondence between your words and your actions. Basically, when what you say and what you do are in alignment. If you're the type of leader that says, listen to me carefully, but watch me even closer, that's a leader with integrity. If you're a leader that says, listen to me carefully, but don't watch me too close, that's a leader that doesn't have integrity. You want to have integrity because the character is the foundation on how you build the leadership house. Okay. So you've got to have good character. So the way you can utilize this to your advantage to become a director is this: you have to tell the truth. This is key. You have to tell the truth to be successful. Now, some people say, well, Tim, I don't ever lie. I always tell the truth. Well, never lying and telling the truth are two different things. Okay. If you don't say something, if you don't talk to people, you're not lying, but you're also not telling the truth. See, the truth is we can become wealthy in Riman. The truth is this is the greatest opportunity that I've ever seen in my life for people to become successful. Okay. That's the truth. So the truth is that. Now, the key is I've got to tell people about that, right? So if you keep your commitment a secret, if you're committed to director, you're like, man, I'm going to go to director, but I'm not going to tell anybody. You can't keep it a secret. You got to tell the truth. The truth is I'm going director. And you tell people a date. What happens if you say I'm going director by convention? August 7th, 8th, and 9th, be in Las Vegas because I'm going to be walking that stage as a director. And you're telling everybody that. Guess what's going to happen? People are going to be inspired. Okay, your team deserves to know how committed you are to becoming a director so they can get inspired too. It's kind of like what Billy Graham says. When somebody takes a stand, okay, he says his quote is, when a brave man takes a stand, often the spines of others stiffens. Think about that. This is one of my favorite quotes, right? Right? When you take a stand and you say, I'm going to do something, the spines of others is often stiffened, meaning that they have confidence because they're utilizing your confidence. So let's talk about the law of respect. Law number seven, the law of respect. The law of respect says people naturally follow leaders that are stronger than themselves. Okay. So whenever a group comes together, people are kind of like all out of alignment. And then what happens is they'll soon start to get in line behind the strongest leader. And then naturally people are going to align themselves with the strongest leader. So your organization is looking for your commitment. Let me explain. When you decide, hey, look, you know what? I'm going to make it happen. You got to remember that, guess what? People can't follow in your footsteps if your feet aren't moving. Okay? People can't follow in your footsteps if your feet aren't moving. Listen to what I'm saying, right? Look at it like this. Look at it like this. Look at it. It is a better way to put it. Okay? You got to, if you sit in a car and you don't turn the car on, how can you drive? You got to turn the car on, and then you got to not just rev the engine, but you got to put it in first gear. Some people are in reverse, right? If you're in reverse, you got to get out of reverse and get into first, right? You got to get out of reverse, get into first, and start running, okay? Because people can follow your footsteps if your feet aren't moving. If you raise the level of leadership by saying, hey, I'm going to make a commitment, I'm going all out, I'm going to make it happen, people are going to be attracted to you, okay? So make a declaration in your heart right now that says, I'm committed to become a director no matter what. I'm committed to becoming a director no matter what. And when you have that no matter what attached to it, people are going to want to be around you. What's the difference between a director and you? Nothing. It's not like every director puts their pants on two legs at a time. Think about it. Right? Directors, there's no difference in a director and you. If they can do it, you can do it, but you've got to commit. You're not going to get to the top of Mount Everest, right? Just by walking around being lost. Okay? So the law of intuition, this is another really hard one to learn. That navigation and intuition are the two hardest ones, but leaders evaluate everything from a leadership bias. Okay, Leroy Imes in his book, Be the Leader You Were Meant to Be, says a leader is one who sees more than others sees, who sees further than others see, and sees before others sees. You got to be able to see it in your mind's eye. You got to be able to see yourself winning big. You got to see your team winning big, right? Every leader in Riman's number one focus right now is director, okay? Every leader right now is direct, and people that are already directors, it's like, I just got to create more directors. So it's kind of like a magnifying glass. If you move it around over a lot of piles of paper, you're not gonna draw a spark. But if you keep that magnifying glass still and focus the beam of the sun, right, and magnify it, that pile of paper will burst into flames. So you got to be focused. You got to be laser focused. Over a long period of time, you got to be consistently consistent. Guess what? Not consistently inconsistent. Say it again, Tim. You got to be consistently consistent, not consistently inconsistent, right? You got to go every day, day in and day out. You got to take continuous action. Napoleon Hill says in his book, Think and Grow Rich, you got to take continuous action day in and day out, right? Towards the fulfillment of your purpose. I mean, that's what Napoleon Hill says. I'm just like, dude, just get to work. Let's go. But once again, it goes back to what I talked about last week for you guys who are on the Friday Night Leadership. What did I say? A lot of people work hard, but few people fight for their lives. You got to fight for your life. This is your life. It's not a dress rehearsal, okay? This is not a scrimmage. So the law of magnetism is law number 9. Who we are is who we attract. To attract attractive people, you must be attractive. To attract powerful people, you must be powerful. To attract committed people, you must be committed. Instead of going to work on your people, instead of going to work on them, go to work on you. If you become, you can attract. So many times people are like, how do I attract better people? Get more committed. When he talks about attractive people, he's not talking about good looking, attractive people. Not like from obviously, you know what I mean? Like if I had to attract people, I had to be attractive, I'd be in trouble, right? I'm an ugly guy in the beauty industry. Let's face it. But he's saying to attract people that are likes, you've got to have that like yourself. That's the law of magnetism, okay? The law of magnetism is you're going to attract people just like yourself. So if you're 100% committed, you're going to find those people. But the only time you find those people is when you're 100% committed. If you got 1 foot in, 1 foot out, you're never going to attract quality people because people will be able to sense that. But when you're all in, the right people are going to come. They're going to want to be a part of your team. So think about this. The law of magnetism, we attract not what we want, but we attract who we are. That's strong. That's solid. We attract what we don't attract what we want. We attract who we are. Commitments are contagious. Okay. By being committed to director, you're going to attract other people that are going to be committed to director. You want to find great people? You want to find people that are going to be leaders? You decide no matter what, you're going to go to work on you and you're going to attract people. Like some people are like, well, my business was growing. I'd get on that Friday night call, but my business isn't growing, so I'm not going to get on. That doesn't make any sense. That's like saying, hey, once the fire starts, I'm going to put some wood in there, right? You got to put the wood in first in order to create the fire. Don't worry about your team. Don't worry about what they're doing. Worry about what you're doing and growing and developing. And as a result of that, you're going to attract people into your life. You're going to think of people. That's God nudging you, right? I call it God winking at you to do this, okay? I'm going to make it happen no matter what. You have that attitude, then you're going to be like, I need to do this. I need to do that. And all of a sudden, you're going to start thinking about the things you got to do, but you have to take action on those things. When a good idea pops up in your mind, you've got to take action on it, okay? So let's talk about this. Let's talk about law number 10. I like law number 10 because it's the law of connection. And when you study the law of connection, leaders touch a heart before they ask for a hand. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Do you see that? So you got to show people that you care. How do you show people you care? You introduce them to Riman, right? If you care about people, you're going to want them to participate with you. But here's the way you can utilize that law to get to director is if your neighbor's house is on fire, would you tell them, right? As we run for director, let's look at everybody as they say, help me written on their forehead. Imagine everybody you talk to, imagine on their forehead, it says, help me. And you go out there with a servant heart and you connect with people and you get them to where they want to go. But the only way you're going to be able to get them to where they want to go is if you're committed to where you want to go. So when you look at the law of the inner circle, this is one of my favorite ones. God dang, I love this one. The law of the inner circle, right? A leader's potential is determined by the people closest to him. Okay, let me read to you an excerpt from Jim Rohn's book. The inner circle, inspire them and they'll inspire you. If a father walks out of his house and he can still feel his daughter's kiss on his face all day, he's a powerful man. If a husband can walk out of the house and he can still feel this imprint of his wife's arms on his body, he's invincible all day. The prophet said, there's many virtues and values, but here's the greatest value. Here's the greatest. One person caring about another. There's no greater value than love. Think about that. Like, we got to get fired up. You know what I mean? Like, if we just fall in love with this business and fall in love with helping people, imagine how many people's lives that we can touch, how many people's lives that we can change. So let's talk about the inner circle and how we can utilize this to become a director. Here's a lesson to set the pace, right? Everyone's 100% committed to director so they can inspire other people closest to them. Think about that. If you really care about the people in your organization, you got to decide to go director no matter what, and they're going to be naturally attracted to you. Think about what's going to happen, right? Maybe you right now don't even have a team. You're like, I don't even know what director is, but I'm getting pumped about it. Look, here's the thing. When you commit to director, guess what's going to happen? You're going to change your pace. If you're crawling for director, if you're walking to director, or you're running to director, those are 3 different paces. Or if you're just sitting down on your couch thinking about it, that's another pace too. You got to run. You got to run for director. Because what happens is your team, if you're leading at 100 miles an hour, now other people can start to go 100 miles an hour too, because they're going to get inspired by your commitment. So watch this. When you talk about the law of empowerment, the law of empowerment says only secure leaders give the power to others. So I love what Jack Welch says, right? I think he was the CEO of General Electric, or probably, I don't know. He was the CEO of something. The guy was a pretty big time leader, right? He looks like that actor in some TV shows. But here's what Jack Welch says. Before you're a leader, success all about growing yourself. When you become a leader, success all about growing others. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to give the power away. We want to develop other people. And how you can take this leadership lesson is this. People who say it cannot be done should not interrupt those that are doing it. Okay. By being 100% committed to director, we're going to empower everybody else around us to grow as a leader. You understand? When you are 100% committed, no matter what, I'm going director, guess what's going to happen? Everybody else is going to raise their belief system too, right? You're empowering others to think bigger. When you're thinking about director, you're getting other people to think bigger too. But if you're like, oh man, it'd be nice, that is not a commitment. That is not a commitment. Any of you that are married, right? If when you get married, right? If my wife is like, I'm like, hey, I'm going to try to stay committed to you. That's nobody you'd want to be in a relationship with, but it's like, man, no matter what, I'm 100% committed to you. That's somebody you can build a relationship with. Same thing with his business. There's a relationship with your business. I'm 100% committed to going to, I'm going to try my best. I'm going to try my best. Your best is not good enough. You got to go above and beyond your best. You got to go somewhere that you've never been. In order to go somewhere you've never been, you got to become somebody you never thought possible. So guess what? Law number 13. Let's get into this one. Now we're going to start getting into good ones. Okay. The law of the picture. This is another one of his new laws. Okay. The law of the picture. People do what people see. So important. Your team is always watching what you do. Okay. It's kind of like a fish living in a fishbowl, right? It's easier to teach what's right than to do what's right. Okay. We should work on changing ourselves before trying to improve others. The most valuable gift a leader can give is their own good example. When you're setting an example and you're setting the pace, you're inspiring everybody. It doesn't make a difference, right? So with the leadership lesson that you can learn from that is leaders live in a fishbowl, okay? For good or for bad, our team is watching every move that we make. By showing our 100% commitment to director, our team's going to follow our lead. Understand, people are going to watch you. They're watching you. The law of the big picture, right? The law of the picture. They're watching the way you operate. And if you're operating saying, hey, I'm committed to being director, but then your schedule isn't in alignment with that, it's not congruent with that, people can sense that. But when you're really, truly running, I'm telling you what, everybody's fired up and excited, right? So you just got to be consistent over a long period of time. Law of the buy-in, number 14. This is a great law. The law of the buy-in. People buy into the leader, then they buy into the vision, okay? They don't buy into the leader, they don't buy into the vision, get another leader. They don't buy into the leader, they buy into the vision, they get another leader. They buy into the leader, they don't buy into the vision, they get another vision. And then obviously if they buy into the leader, they buy into the vision, then they get behind the leader. That's the key. Law of the buy-in. This is a great one because this law is powerful, right? I mean, it basically is a no-brainer. The best example, I don't know if any of you guys saw this was like an old clip from, I mean, it was on like YouTube. It was like all over social media, probably like, I don't know, 15 years ago. But it was a dude just dancing at a concert by himself, just acting crazy. And people were kind of like talking. And then all of a sudden then another guy's like, I want to join in. He starts jumping in there. He starts dancing with this guy. And then a couple more people jump in, a couple more people. Then the entire section's going crazy. Okay. So whip yourself into a director frenzy. Let me say it again. Whip yourself into a director frenzy. To have your people and have your team buy in to the director frenzy, you've got to be the biggest believer in the director frenzy. If you're like, man, I'm telling you, you're a decision away. What would happen if you created 5 directors in the next 6 months? How would your business look? How do you create a director? Is you decide you're going to be a director. You decide that you're going to the top, and everybody around you is going to get inspired. Okay. Law of victory. This is where it gets good. One of my favorite laws. Leaders find a way for the team to win. John C. Maxwell says, when the pressure's on, great leaders are at their best. Whatever's inside of them comes to the surface. This is the reason why you develop yourself, right? Is the law of victory. Okay. People will be afraid not to follow you when they know that you know where you're going, right? Every leader's 100% committed right now to the director to be able to lead their team to victory. That's the magic. When you're like, man, no matter what, I'm going to make it happen over, under, or through. People are going to be, they're going to be injected with confidence by your commitment. We got to make 100% commitment. We've got to decide right now that this is it. Over, under, through. I'm going to make it happen. That's how you get everybody else fired up and excited to make it happen, okay? Number 16 is the law of the big mo. I love momentum. John C. Maxwell says the law of the big mo. He teaches this. Momentum is a leader's best friends. Your best friend is momentum. Momentum is a great exaggerator. What does that mean? Momentum makes leaders look better than they are. Momentum helps followers perform better than they are. Now, momentum is easier to steer than it is to start. Let me say that again. Momentum is easier to steer than it is to start. Momentum is the most powerful change agent. John C. Maxwell teaches this. Momentum is a leader's responsibility. Momentum begins with the leader. This is powerful stuff. This is powerful stuff. Man, I'm so glad I jumped on this call today. I'm getting some great value. Now, understand momentum can work for you or against you, right? There's momentum. That's positive momentum. There's no momentum, and there's negative momentum. In a basketball game, when a team goes on like a 20-point, or like a 20-2 run or like a 20-5 run, what happened is one team got momentum and one team got negative momentum, right? And what happens whenever they get negative momentum? They'll usually call a timeout. So momentum is going to work for you and against you. But what happens is when you have momentum, positive momentum going for you, people think you're greater than you really are. Okay? People think you're greater than you really are. The people that are on your team, they perform better than they really are. That's how you get people. Now, how do you create momentum? That's an entire training I do. Okay, on the law of the big mo. I'm not going to give it to you right now. Okay, I'm not going to give it to you right now, but I'm going to tell you right now. Starts with victory. Okay, I'm going to give you that because it's all about high morale. I'm just got to stop there. It's got to stop there. If I start teaching you guys about momentum, nobody's sleeping for at least 4 or 5 days. They're going to be so fired up. But here's a leadership lesson we can learn from the law of the big mo. Have the give me the ball attitude, right? Every leader in Riman is committed to becoming a director in order to be able to create massive momentum for their entire team to take advantage of it. You understand, when you got to realize, man, there's people's lives that you've never even met that are going to be impacted by the decision that you make today to go become director. When you're like, man, I'm going director no matter what happens is there's people who haven't even heard about Riman yet that are going to go director because of that commitment you made. People you've never met. People that you don't know. Think about this. I think we have probably 50 directors or higher, 50, 60 directors and higher. Probably out of all of them, I probably knew 5 of them before, maybe 6, before Riman. You understand? Like most of them I don't know. The senior directors. I think we have 12 senior directors in our group. I don't know if I knew any of them before. Think about that. Now they're like family to me. I love these people. But think about when you decide that you're going to go director, what happens is what? You know what I mean? Your team is going to take advantage of that momentum that you create. Now, the law of priorities is law number 17. I'm just touching on these because I'm challenging you to go read the book again. Okay, read the book again. The law of priority says leaders understand that activity is not necessarily accomplishment. You guys know Pareto had these principles, but basically all of Pareto's principles were great. But the most important one is 20% of your activity gives you 80% of your results, and 80% of your activity gives you 20% of your results. Listen to me carefully when I say this, and I hate to say this because I know that some of you are going to be turned off by it, but I'm going to say it anyways because sometimes you got to tell people what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. But I'm going to tell you honestly, if I hung out with you, and I hate knowing this about, if I hung out with you for 2 or 3 days, I could tell you if you're going to hit director or not because I would find out your priorities. Like if you hung out with me, if you came to my house and just sat in my house and watched me operate for about 3 or 4 weeks, Well, for 3 or 4 weeks, your head would pop off. But I'm saying 3 or 4 days, if you just watch me all day work, some of you would be like, I don't know if I'm cut out for this. This dude is serious. But the reason why is because I'm trying to serve other people. The reason why I'm working so hard is because guess what? I've got to get everybody else around us making 100,000 a month. You understand? Like, just because, Chris and I are making a ton of money, it's not enough. We got to probably like 3 people now making 100 grand a month in our organization, but that's like, look, that's not enough. Like, we've got to create massive amounts of success. So as a result of that, I'm willing to put in the effort on a consistent basis, day in and day out, because it's not about me. It's about the people. It's not about me. It's about the people that I lead. And understanding something, I could tell your priorities, but my mentor always said, if somebody followed you around with a video camera all day, how much of that information would you want to show your organization? And I'm like, damn, all of it. Like, I would love that. That would pump people up, because a lot of you are like, man, I'd like to make 100 grand a month, but I would like to. But if you're like, look, I'm going to make 100 grand a month with this opportunity, over, under, through, no matter what, guaranteed. That's a different commitment. That's an all different commitment. But you'll realize your priorities, 20% of your activity gives you 80% of the results. So you got to focus on that 20% that gives you the response, right? And in our business, it's super simple to figure out what that is, right? Let's talk to more people. But I love this. I'm going to give you guys one of the best leadership lessons of all time is prioritize or agonize. Every Riman leader's number one priority is doing whatever it takes to become a director. Okay. As a result, everyone is overbooking their schedule with money-making activities. Look, if my primary focus when it comes to Riman is to become a director, then guess what's going to happen? I'm overbooking my schedule. And now when I overbook my schedule, what do you think the people closest to me are? Commitments like spraying perfume on other people, right? You automatically going to smell better. Once you decide, and you not just make a decision in your heart, but your priorities. I'm telling you, if I hung out with you for 72 hours, I could tell real quickly what your priorities are and tell you if, oh yeah, you're guaranteed going to hit it. Or if I'm like, oh my goodness. Now, I know many of you are very part-time, but if you're committed, let's say 4 or 5 hours a day or 3 hours a day or 2 hours, whatever it is, I don't care what it is. I could just look at those hours and be like, okay, this person is going to make it because they're not messing around. Okay. They're not doing busy work. They're not doing tension relieving work. They're doing goal achieving work. You see the difference? People like to do tension relieving, but you make money by doing goal achieving work. Okay. I'm not going to get into it. I'll get all fired up, but let's talk about law number 18, the law of sacrifice. This is one of my favorite laws. Law of sacrifice. So leaders must give up to go up, right? You got to give up. You got to give up your excuses. You got to give up your self-imposed limitations, right? So as you rise in leadership, your responsibilities increase and your rights decrease because you're living in a fishbowl, right? When you decide, hey, I'm going director no matter what, everybody around you is watching and they're going to be inspired by you. So watch what I'm showing you. Okay, look at this. This is good. You have to give up to go up. Every leader is giving up their fears, their doubts, their excuses, their limiting beliefs, and running to director. I was talking about last night when it's overcoming objections training. And I did that portion of last night's promoting training. All right. We were doing module 6 last night at HQ. And I talked about overcoming objections. And I don't know how many people caught it or not, but I said overcoming objections doesn't stop once people get in. I'm always overcoming objections. You're always overcoming objections. But overcoming objections isn't necessarily objections. When you become leaders and start developing leaders, they're called complaints. When somebody's complaining about something, guess what that is? That's an objection for why they're not moving forward. So you have to overcome that objection to be able to get people to move forward. Goes with you. Are you a complainer, or are you make it happen no matter what type of person? You see the difference? For me, it's like, dude, I'm going to make it happen no matter what. No matter what. I don't worry about stuff that's out of my control. What I worry about is what? Like people, I worry about the gas prices. No, I can't control the gas prices. If I sat around and complained about gas prices all day, would that help my business or hurt my business? You understand? People complain about stuff that they have no control over. What you focus in on is you. What you can control your own self. You can control what you do or don't do. So you got to give up excuses in order to get to where you want to go. You got to give up complaining. You got to give up doubts. You got to give up limiting beliefs and become a director. But the law of timing is very powerful because right now we have a major promotion right now that we're running. But the law of timing, when to lead is as important as what to do and where to go. Okay. Wrong action, wrong time is disaster. Right action, wrong time, resistance. Wrong action, right time, mistake. Right action, right time, success. Right? That's jackpot. So understand the timing right now has never been better. Okay. We got this promotion going on right now in the month of April. We also have this promotion is way bigger than what we were expecting, out of control bigger. Then you got what else is out of this world, right? We got early bird registration ending. Think about that. Early bird registration is ending for the Vegas event this month. So we've got to get everybody registered before April 30th for the event. So the timing right now, it's all about getting committed. So watch this. The law of timing, when to lead is as important as what to do and where to go. There's never been a better time. Okay. With the best timing ever, the urgency's over the top to get everybody to qualify for director right now. Understand what we've done over the last 2 years is nothing compared to what's going to happen over the next 2 years. You understand? We created 50, 60 directors and higher. That was the first 2 years. The next 2 years, it's going to be thousands of directors. You understand what's going on? So realize that it's time for you to start thinking bigger. Okay. There's never been a better time than right now. Okay. Look at the law of explosive growth. This is my favorite law. This law has made me the most money. I'd say this one is the number one law to learn. Like if you buy the book and you go start studying John C. Maxwell's 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, just go write the law number 20 and then figure out the rest of it later. No, I was kidding. But you want to go directly to this law, right? But basically what it is to add growth, lead followers, to multiply growth, lead leaders. Okay. Leaders, they add one at a time. If they lead followers, if they lead leaders, they multiply their growth. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about it so you can really unlock greatness. Okay. I love this. Like attracts like. Everyone is running hard for director right now because they know in order to attract solid leaders, they must have a forward-leaning emotion and be enthusiastic about becoming director. When you have that forward-leaning emotion and you're fired up like never before about becoming director, man, you are going to attract people to you like a magnet on steroids, all right? People are going to be fired up like never before, and you're going to start developing leaders at a rapid rate. So the law of legacy is this. A leader's lasting value is measured by succession, okay? I love what Mother Teresa said, right? Mother Teresa, this is one of my favorite quotes, and I'm going to give it to you right now. If you're honest and frank, maybe people may cheat you. Be honest and frank anyways, right? You may spend years building something that someone could destroy overnight. Build anyways. If you find serenity and happiness, they may be jealous. Guess what? Be happy anyways, okay? Listen to this. This is Mother, this used to hang on, this whole entire quote hung on her office in Calcutta, right behind her desk. The good you do today, people will often forget tomorrow. Guess what? Do good anyways. Give the world the best you have, and it may never be enough, but give the world the best you've got anyways. You see, in the final analysis, it's between you and God. It was never between you and them anyways. Don't worry about everybody else. Just worry about you. You worry about what you can do. And you're going to be able to inspire people that you couldn't even possibly imagine. So the leadership lesson here, as we wrap up the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership, is be a king or queen maker. You don't want to be a king or queen. You want to be a king or queen maker. Everyone in Riman is running for director so they can create an environment to be able to grow tons of new leaders. Understand that we've got to decide right now that this is it, right? You want to be saying to yourself right now, this is my time. This is my time to step up. This is my time to get it going. And it starts by how do you experience a breakthrough? Number one is this, attitude. Attitude. How's your attitude? Now, let me share with you this. Your attitude determines what you do with your potential. As human beings, how much potential do we got? I'm going to give you guys a little motivation as we wrap this thing up here. How much potential do you have? The answer is unlimited. So what determines whether you waste that potential or you tap into that potential? Your attitude. Your attitude. Do you have the potential to read 21 Irrefutable Laws in Leadership and study it as well as I have? Yeah, you've got the potential to do that. Whether you do or you don't is what? Your attitude. Your attitude. But see, when you have a great attitude, you unlock your potential. Then guess what happens when you unlock your potential? You start taking better activity. The activity is different. You got this eye gaze that says, I'm up to something. People want to get around you. That activity that you set, that pace that you set. But you got to tap into your potential first. See, if you take activity, but you're not tapping into your potential because you got a warped attitude, then guess what? Your activity is not going to be solid. But see, when you have a great attitude, you have an attitude of gratitude, grateful for everything, whether something's good or bad or indifferent, I'd be grateful for it. Because when you have that gratitude, you tap into your potential, you unlock your potential. And then when you start taking activity, you start getting better results. And then guess what happens? You get a better attitude. It's just taught to me by Jim Rohn. He says you're either in a spiral up or a spiral down because you don't coast up. If you're just coasting through life right now, you're getting worse. But if you've got a great attitude and you're tapping into your potential, you're unlocking your potential, you're going to get better results. But it comes down to how bad do you want to win? How bad do you want to succeed? How bad do you want to make your dreams and goals become a reality? So you've got to say, I want it so bad. I want to make it happen no matter what. I'm going to make it happen because I'm going to set forth in motion momentum and I'm going to run for director. And as a result of that, people that I've never even met are going to be attracted to Riman because of my commitment. And as a result of that, they're going to become a success. See what's happening? See what's happening when you make a true commitment? When you make that commitment, you say, I cut off all other options. Success is it. This is how you experience a breakthrough. I'm going to make it happen no matter what. So I'm challenging you today to make up your mind right now that says, I'm going to win. I'm going to be a success. I'm going to make it happen. I'm going all out. I'm telling you, you can do it. There's no debating. It's not about can or can. It's about will or won't. It's about will or won't. Like, what do you think? Like when it comes down to it, what's better? Like, why am I having more success? Because I can find some skin that you can't find? Come on, guys. Let's go. Everybody can find some skin where you can't find a wrinkle. Where are you looking for wrinkles at? I can find wrinkles all over the place. It's not hard. It's not difficult. It's not like people are running around right now being like, man, I don't want a better quality of lifestyle. That'd be terrible if somebody helped me become financially independent. People aren't saying that. You understand? People are looking for, look, right now in America, the economy is some of the most uncertain economical times that we've ever seen. Guess what that means for you and I? That means opportunity, unprecedented opportunity. That's what I'm telling you. Like, you understand? Like, when the gas prices are going up, everybody's panicking. I'm thinking, ching, 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 ching. Because I'm thinking we're going to make more money. Think about it. If you're selling Band-Aids and everybody's scraping their knee, guess what? You're going to sell some great Band-Aids. If you're selling umbrellas and it's raining like crazy, guess what's going to happen? Your business is going to grow through the roof. We're offering people, we're extending an invitation for people to have a better quality of lifestyle at Riman. That's the most beautiful thing on the planet. Mainly because of the uncertain economical times that we're experiencing right now. Don't let this moment in time, don't wait for the economy to get better and be like, dang, I should have cashed in. When the economy gets better, guess what's happening to our opportunity? It's harder to become successful in Riman. This is our time. This is our chance. Make a commitment right now that says, I'm going to make it happen. Over, under, or through. I'm going to light myself on fire and people are going to come from all over to watch me burn. Let's go all out massive action this week. Next Friday, did you guys hear about the training we're doing? I can't even believe what's about to happen next Friday. The Friday training we're going to be talking about how to overcome objections so you can become a director.